Welcome back to Talk of the Town on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
And we welcome you back to Talk of the Town for this Wednesday, April the 8th. I'm Gary Stevens. We'll be open line following the 11 o'clock news. But we are very pleased to have on the other side of our Zoom connection today, Ottawa County Sheriff's Sergeant Eric Westveer with the Marine Division. Joins us on a regular basis, especially during the boating and water fun season, I'd like to call that. Eric, good morning and welcome aboard.
Morning. Thanks for having me back.
Glad you are with us. And if you wish to join the conversation, do it the traditional way. Call us at 395-1450, 395-1450, and we'd be happy to take your call. We need to bring up a couple of things that we've gotten some phone calls in the past about dealing with boating safety, water safety in the sense of right now under stay home and stay safe. And let's clarify a couple of things. First of all, people can go out on their boats right now. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That is correct. Under the governor's order, that is permissible as an outdoor recreational activity.
However, the distancing still needs to be in effect, especially for those on the boat. For bigger boats, obviously, be more of a concern than maybe the little small 1 or 2 person boat.
Right. And, the other thing, too, is, like I said, it is permissible, but only with the members of your household. So you have to make sure if you're on your boat, you're not boating with people from outside of your household on the same vessel.
Now, how will this be enforced in terms of the Ottawa County Sheriff's Department's Marine Unit? You give them nice, kindly warnings? Do you issue citations? How do you do that?
So what we're recommending right now is for any violations of the stay-home order, including the boating, if you suspect there's a violation, to use the email address that we have put out over the past couple of weeks to email those violations into us.
I know that. By the way, that email is?
I don't have it off the top of my head.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It is on our website. If you go to the Sheriff's Office website, it's right on the main page right there.
Right. Okay. And by the way, we will put the website linked when we put the podcast of our conversation with Eric Westveer on our website at WHTC.com a little bit later on this morning. Peg's got something there that wants to add to that.
I believe I've got that. Well, if it would close, I believe I have that email address, which is, sorry, the page is acting funny. It's supposed to be, I believe, MI Ottawa. No, I'm so sorry. I grabbed the wrong webpage.
Okay.
I'll just email it to you, Gary.
Okay, sounds good there. Again, if you have a question for Eric Westveer, he'll take it at 395-1450, 395-1450. Some other questions as well to go about this with Sergeant Westveer. Even though it's still a little cold in the water, people want to go to the piers and take those pictures and all that. And sometimes you need to have the life rings available. And of course, that should be there. I would think maybe year round. I'm not certain. But anyway, when does life rings go out in that regard?
So I was out at the pier, the Holland Pier, where we placed them last weekend. A couple of the brackets were damaged over the winters due to some of the ice we had on them in the storm. So I'm currently working with the company that we have to do the repairs on those brackets. As soon as those repairs are done, then the life rings will be going out. I anticipate hopefully in the next week or so.
Yeah, let's hope so as well. By the way, the website, and Peg's got it now, stay home, stay safe, all one word, stay home, stay safe at myottawa.com is the website, is the email if you want to report a possible violation, and the Sheriff's Department will address that situation. Now, a couple of other questions Peg had. Are there guidelines for people who go out for surfing or parasailing purposes? Does stay home, stay safe mean they can't do that, or is that okay?
In our opinion here, and that wasn't under the directive, obviously, is specific to boating, but our opinion is that's going to fall under the same guidelines as that's an outdoor recreational activity, as long as you are around only people in the same household and maintain that 6 foot, that social distancing guidelines by the CDC as well.
Now, question, which is more perhaps of a prosecutorial issue than it is a law enforcement issue. In trying to enforce, social distancing on a boat, if you come across situations such as this, does the boat owner automatically get a $1,000 ticket on this or no?
Not generally, no. That's something that we would take under review and discuss with, whether it be a health department issue or a prosecutor issue. We would discuss it and then take action as appropriate.
If you got a question for Ottawa County Sheriff Sergeant Eric Westveer at the Marine Unit, they'll take it at 395-1450, 395-1450. Good morning. You're on Talk of the Town with Sergeant Westveer.
Hi, I didn't realize it was the Marine Unit. Can I still ask a question?
Well, he can possibly
law enforcement.
Yeah, you can possibly help, but go ahead.
I have known some people who are homeless, and they've been told to shelter in place, but they have no place, and some of these cities aren't taking any people in. They don't have enough space for them. So what happens if somebody reports a person who is not sheltering in place because they cannot?
Eric?
Well, I guess in that instance, shelter in place would be more regards, and I'm speaking specifically for a homeless individual, would probably fall under the just make sure they're maintaining that social distance, that 6 feet or more away from somebody else at that point. Because like she said, they obviously don't have a place to go to, but they still have things that they could follow to minimize their contact.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate the call. 395-1450. Good morning. You're on the line with Ottawa County Sheriff Sergeant Eric Westveer.
Yes, good morning, Sergeant Westveer and Gary. Due to the high water levels yet, and especially when all the boats are coming out and speeding and throwing high wakes, what about these conditions for living on Lake Makatawa? Per Jim Willie, state representative, was a guest on Gary Stevens' show a day or two ago. Stated the governor passed a bill last Thursday for temporary no-wake buoys, and now it's up to local municipalities to contact the DNR to set this all up. Are you aware of this, Sergeant?
I am. In fact, over the past couple months, I've been in direct contact with the supervisor and manager for Park Township, the manager for Holland Township, and with Holland City officials as well. We had a meeting last week, and just this past Monday, we had a meeting with Representative Lilly and individuals from other municipalities around the county. We are fully aware of this bill. Park Township was very active in getting this bill passed, so they are very aware of it as well. And we are in the process of setting up procedures to move forward to enact that bill on the waterways, not just in Holland, but in all waters of Ottawa County that would pertain to.
Okay, thank you so very much.
Thank you very much for the call. 395-1450, 395-1450. She beat me to the punch because I was going to talk about the situation with the no wake and the high water. And correct me if I'm wrong, and obviously in these parts around here, the big focus is, of course, on Lake Mac. For those of you listening in Allegan County, sorry, this is an Ottawa County situation, but I would assume it's probably the same in Kalamazoo Lake as well as the Kalamazoo River. Does this also apply to the Grand River and the Spring Lake area? Because they got some issues as well.
Yes, it does. It's obviously a statewide bill that was passed, so it does pertain to any waterway. And again, we had that meeting Monday that involved the representatives from the municipalities up there, and I suspect that they will start moving forward just like the ones around the Holland area have.
Again, if you have a question for Ottawa County Sheriff Sergeant Eric Westveer, he's with the Marine Unit. He'll take it at 395-1450, 395-1450. Some other questions Peg mentioned, and I'm going to bring them up here because, let's put it this way, these are good questions. Somebody, oh, by the way, Peg says thank you. Someone told us on social media, charter fishing boats out of Indiana are motoring up the coast here to Michigan. You know, granted, we're thinking about locals when we talk about the boating situation. What about our friends from, say, the Hoosier State, or maybe the land of Lincoln, or perhaps across the lake from us in Wisconsin? What about our visiting friends?
Yeah, so my understanding, and she prepped me on that so I could do a little research too, but the stay-at-home order is for Michigan residents. It's not for residents from other states saying they have to stay home or even stay out of our state. We haven't closed our borders. So for them to come into the waters fishing like that, and at least in my opinion, reading it, again, it's my opinion reading it, that's not covered in this because we, as Michigan, did not stop their charter services out of another state.
Yeah, they can come in, but here's the thing: they still got to do social distancing too.
See, now that's a question that I would have to look into to get a good answer for you, because again, they're not our residents, but at that time they're in our water. So does that apply to them?
So wouldn't they have to follow all the rules in Michigan? As if I drove into Indiana, I'd have to follow all the rules of the road, correct?
I would agree, but again, the shelter in place thing, I don't think we can really enforce on them. I mean, we did with our charter businesses, we shut them down because it's a non-essential business, and because of the social distancing. I would have to really look into that one further to see if that's something we can enforce from an outside state business coming in.
395-1450, 395-1450. If you have a question for Ottawa County Sheriff Sergeant Eric Westveer, and we talk about boating safety, and obviously that's been a thrust of that, but also we do have parks. We do have, in the case of Holland State Park, beaches. North Beach, the fine county park up in Ferrysburg, which is my preferred choice when I want to go to Lake Michigan, because the state parks are a little busy. I'd rather go to the county park in Ferrysburg, and I know I'm disclosing a secret now. Whew, everybody's going to go there, but Tunnel Park, Park Township is closed its parks right now. What about people congregating on beaches? Do you guys have to do some enforcing in that way, or is it more of an enforcement situation with the ground units more than the marine units?
Yeah, it's going to be more for the road patrol units, but even more so, that's probably going to be directed more towards the DNR at that point if they're in the state park itself. I do know over the past weekend, I believe it was pretty busy out at Holland State Park. They did close the pier out there at this point because of too many people congregating on it. So I guess I would just encourage people to remember that if you see that it's full or getting full, maybe try different locations so we can keep some of that distancing so we can help get everybody past this.
Peg?
A quick note, I had to double check because I thought in Illinois and Indiana both had stay-at-home orders, and Indiana just did theirs on April 6th, but Illinois did theirs a couple days earlier. So who would be figuring that out on the waters? If all the surrounding states of Lake Michigan have stay-at-home orders and people are on the boats, is it the Coast Guard? Is it the State Police Marine Patrol? Is it individual counties? Who's responsible for enforcing that variety pack of stay-at-home rules?
Well, the easy answer is all of the above, because all of the agencies that you listed off have jurisdiction over the water. Some, obviously that jurisdiction changes. We have jurisdiction over Ottawa County's water, Allegan over Allegan's water, MSP over all of Michigan water, and the Coast Guard over all of the lakes. So it depends on where it falls as to who would have jurisdiction.
395-1450 if you have a question for Ottawa County Sheriff Sergeant Eric Westveer. He'll be happy to answer it at 395-1450. Clarity on the boating situation. That it needed some time because it wasn't immediate. When the stay home, stay safe order came in March, we were just about ready to start the fishing season, the recreational fishing season, the recreational boating season. So it took a little while, and I would assume a little frustration, maybe not so much with you, but maybe some with our boating friends about, is this covered? Is it not covered? Did you get a sense from maybe some of the people that you encountered that they just didn't know, and there was a lot of, I don't know questions, a lot of shrugging of shoulders?
Yeah, there was a lot of questions as to, like you just said, is this allowed? Can we do this? And then what didn't help is some misinformation came out in the media from an agency on the east side of the state that said that it was not permissible. That caused some more questions statewide, which is what spurred the question and answer that came out, and the clarity that came out from the DNR, specifically stating that it is permissible under the stay home order as long as you practice the social distancing and make sure that you're with your household on it.
Good morning. You have a question for Sergeant Westveer.
Yes. Is the load limits on the roads or not?
I believe, and I can answer this, Eric, the weight restrictions have been lifted, not only in county roads, state roads. It's all clear.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the call. Yeah, I remember seeing those emails.
Yep.
I want to say one thing, and I want to apologize to you. I've been writing down, I've been mentioning Ottawa County Sheriff Sergeant Eric Westveer. The 3 little sergeant stripes, not with you anymore. You're a lieutenant. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I apologize for that, but I will now put LT Eric Westveer, and congratulations on the promotion.
Thank you. Not effective quite yet. I'm going to finish out this Marine season yet with the unit, and then after that's done, then we'll move on to the new role. So
appreciate that. All right. Couple of things. First of all, normally during the month of April, and especially the Ottawa County Sheriff's Department and other police entities, they inspect boats to make sure that they have the safety, all the safety apparatus in, basically to get them so that they're ready to be boating safely. Can't do that now, I'm afraid.
You can't. We are still planning on doing that service this year. However, for the events that we had scheduled, obviously for the next few weeks, we did cancel those events. But we do fully intend to, once we can get past this and we can start having better contact, closer contact, and getting more involved, then we intend to bring this program back this year yet. I have all of the stickers made up that we issue. The guys are ready to go. We just don't want, the contact and my guys climbing into boats right now and having contact with the surfaces of those boats until we know it's safe.
Another thing that happens in the spring, and also I believe definitely the spring, is an initiative, a crackdown or an awareness about drunken boating.
That's right. That is always one of the top things that we're looking for. That's probably the number one safety issue out there. And once again this year, and in a month or two when I come back on and meet with you again, I'll get into it a little more detail. But again, we're going to participate in the what's called Operation Dry Water campaign, and that's basically looking for intoxicated boaters just the way they do on the road.
Yeah, and that's going to be a little bit later on, but that's usually I want to say Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend, we go out as a unit and do it. The national one this year is actually over 4th of July.
Okay. And I have a funny feeling that this 4th of July might be a little bit busier than normal, because I have a funny feeling all of these shelter in place, stay home, stay safe, and all that. I have a funny feeling we're going to be over this by the 4th of July.
I hope so.
It's going to be wild.
I sure hope we are.
I hope we are, but unfortunately, that means also we're going to have to, be safe on the roads, be safe on the waters as well. Again, Eric Westveer, I will put the link to the Ottawa County Sheriff's Department overall on our website at WHTC.com when we put the podcast with you, the audio version of it. And you graciously allowed us to record this Zoom conversation, and we'll put the video of that on our Facebook page at 99.7 and 1450 WHTC. That will be uploaded a little bit later on this afternoon. Eric, as always, thank you very much for joining us today on WHTC's Talk of the Town. Look forward to chatting with you again next month.
My pleasure. Thanks again as well.
Thank you very much. That's Ottawa County Sheriff's Sergeant and soon to be Ottawa County Sheriff's Lieutenant Eric Westveer. Coming up at CBS News with Steve Kathan, followed by WHTC News with Peg McNichol. And then we'll have some open line time, followed by the WHTC Midday Report on Real News Now, 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.